All right. On June 29, 2013, let's talk Tommy Gunn Woostheisen against Brandon Gonzalez. That I thought that was a pretty good fight, a pretty interesting fight. I didn't think it was really any dull moments in it. Wasn't a lot of holding, and it was more action, and it wasn't just wild slugging. There was a lot of skill in there. I got to be honest and say that I didn't know who Brandon Gonzalez was. Only thing I knew about him was he's one of Andre Ward's sparring partners, and that he was also undefeated. I picked Tommy Gunn in this fight. I thought that the big tall southpaw would come in and look really good, but for some reason he seemed to look really sluggish, and I thought that Gonzalez won the fight. I had it 6 rounds to 4 for Gonzalez. I did have in the second half of the fight. I did have Wooshausen coming back and winning a couple of those rounds, but I didn't honestly think he did enough to win the fight, which he didn't, and it ended up being a draw. And I mean, I guess that's arguable. I mean, I guess you could go back and forth and say whether it was a draw or not. I thought Gonzalez won the fight, but it ends up being a draw. Wooshausen and Gonzalez move on. Gonzalez is now a player in the super middleweight division, a guy who I think that you will see in another fight, probably on HBO coming up sometime soon. But let's talk about what's out here for Woosheisen. The first thing I see is I like to see a rematch with Gonzalez, whether it's immediate or whether it's after a next fight. Also out there for Tommy Gunn, Sekio Bika. As I was watching that fight, and it was about in the fifth round, and I was actually thinking then that, you know what, a good fight for Wooshausen would be Bika. I think that it would be a tough fight. For both fighters. You know, Bika has that. I don't know what kind of style you want to say he has, and I think that it would be a test for Wooshausen. I don't know. I just got kind of excited about that fight, watching it last night. And then what about Arthur Abraham? Arthur Abraham doesn't have a fight coming up. He's not going to get Stiglitz because Stiglitz is fighting. He's fighting a different fight coming up, so those guys are not doing a rubber match. So that guy's available out there. As far as Gonzalez, let's see him in the ring again. You know, let's see him in there maybe with Marco Antonio Parabon, the guy who Bika just beat last week. That's another guy that's in the top 15, top 20ish area, and let's see Gonzalez in there again. I think he deserves another big fight. I think he fought with a lot of heart. I think he fought with also a lot of skill. So that was my thoughts on that fight. Wooshausen, Gonzalez, pretty good scrap. What's your thoughts on it? Catch you next time.